Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm coming at you with a little bit different of a video than usual. I'm out in nature at a park today at this little isolated bench in front of a pond. Maybe I'll show that at the end. But just wanted to get into nature by myself to journal, draw, and just be alone with my thoughts. And it got me thinking of how far I've come, both mentally and just me overall as a person, and how much I've learned and matured over the years. And I came up with the idea to conspire a list of some lessons, the most valuable lessons that I've learned. Don't get me wrong, I don't know everything. I'm only 23. I literally turned 24 October 29th. So my frontal lobe is getting pretty close to developing. But even just from a year ago, I've learned so much about myself and revealed a lot of things about myself that needed to be fixed. And yeah, I came up with 5 main things that have really been like the highlight of my life this past year. I've definitely been putting in the most work in this past year, and I've already come a really long way. I definitely feel like I've reached a spiritual awakening. You'll have like multiple spiritual awakenings in your lifetime, but I just noticed recently that I'm able to handle a lot of tougher situations a lot easier than I was a year, 2 years ago, all the way back. These aren't in any in particular order. I just thought I would read them off and go on a rant, you know? Yeah. So number 1, the biggest thing, this is probably number 1 actually, was the fact that you do not own your own thoughts. I've had anxiety since like forever. Like growing up, my parents used to call me a warrior. Not a warrior, a warrior, because I just worried about everything. And I've always been a little anxious being. And it's really hard for me to overcome sometimes, but I finally feel like I've gotten a grasp of my anxiety because of this. And I notice whenever I'm having anxious or like depressive thoughts, they kind of come from like the back of my brain. Maybe you feel that way, maybe you don't. But I've been able to tune in to what thoughts I agree with morally and what I don't. And I notice if I'm having these sort of negative thoughts about myself, I'm able to detach myself a lot easier, because when you have a negative thought, you know you're having a negative thought. But instead of sort of getting, there's bugs everywhere, sorry. Instead of getting suffocated in that thought, just taking a step back and thinking to yourself, does this line up with what I actually believe? And 9 times out of 10, it does not. And if you still are believing it, that's just a sign that you need to keep doing the spiritual work, the shadow work, to sort of resolve any self-hatred and like trauma that you have. And it helps bring a lot of things that are in the back of my mind to the surface that I think I feel about myself. And it's a lot easier for me to move on from them when I confront them and realize like, oh, I don't believe I'm a piece of shit. Like, I think I'm a really good person. So yeah, coming from someone who overthinks a lot, it's definitely, once you keep doing it and facing those thoughts at face value, it makes it a lot easier to let those thoughts pass and not live through them. So I hope that made sense. But I think that's all I have to say about that. I actually learned that quote, I guess you'd say quote, from Tara Brach, Tarabrach. She has a bunch of YouTube videos. She's amazing. She's a spiritual lady. I don't really know specifically what she is, but she has a lot of lectures. She has a lot of meditations that are really good, and I highly recommend watching her videos. She gives amazing advice. The second one is every day you make a choice. Everything you do is a choice. From you getting up out of bed, brushing your teeth, getting dressed for the day, it's the little things. Like, you're deciding to do those things. You're deciding to go to work. Everything. And it makes it a lot easier, especially when I'm feeling depressed and unmotivated, to realize, like, I have the choice to do what I want with my life. You know what I mean? Like, I have the choice to not stay in my bed all day and just, like, loathe myself over whatever's going on in my life. And I feel a lot more accomplished at the end of the day when I realize this and I actually got some things done. Because I'll just sit there, and when I get up in the morning or whenever I'm about to do something, and maybe I don't want to really do it, you know, something like doing laundry or whatever, and I just think to myself, like, I have a choice to do this. You know what I mean? Like, no one's forcing me to do it, but if I want to better myself, I need to make the choice of myself. I need to put myself first through everything. Relationships, just life in general. Yeah, that's all I gotta say on that. And the third one has definitely changed my life a lot. It's being mindful and picky of the people that you bring into your life. I'm a recovering people pleaser. I just always wanted everyone to like me because I have pure intentions with people, especially people, you know, I care about. But sometimes people are just put into your life to be a lesson, and they're not meant to stay in your life. And if they don't make you happy and help you grow and develop as a person, they don't need to be in your life. Recently, like the past couple years, I've lost, I don't know if I said lost, but I've lost a lot of friends, and it's honestly helped me so much keeping the close people that I do resonate with and do better me as a person, because it's also helped attract those same type of people into my life, and it's really nice. Some of those type of people that I don't want in my life still do come in my way, and it's just a matter of, once again, making that choice and not accepting that type of person in your life. Just because someone wants to be your friend, you don't have to be their friend. You don't have to be mean to them either. But yeah, you don't need to be friends with them if you don't want to. If they have lifestyle choices and just aren't overall a person you want to be around, you don't have to. And I didn't really think that way before. I just kind of saw the good in everyone. And I think you should, but you don't need to keep people in your life that aren't going to help you grow as a person and contribute to your life in the way that you want it to. Like, I have my own personal morals and beliefs about, like, what a true friend is to me. And you hear the saying all the time, it's better to have, you know, a close-knit few friends than have, you know, a bunch of friends. And it's very true. I've become a lot happier, and it also helps me be alone with myself a lot more and navigate myself and figure myself out even more. So that's that. This one might be a little controversial, but I feel like especially a lot of people in my generation agree that social media just gives you brain rot. I don't really count, everyone says this, I don't really count social media to be YouTube, just because it's long form content. I mean, unless you're scrolling through the shorts. I try to avoid those, but it's long form content. I can educate myself. I can watch very knowledgeable videos on here, or fun videos. It's just a lot healthier to take in long form content, and I learn a lot from YouTube. But apps like Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, even Reddit, I get trapped in Reddit sometimes. People are very opinionated on all these apps, to be honest. I do have Instagram, and it's hard to not get stuck and trapped in there sometimes, but I realize it just doesn't help my mental health whatsoever. It causes me to compare myself to other people, and it also just makes me not want to be productive whatsoever. Like, I'll spend so much time doom scrolling, and then I realize like 2 hours has gone by, and that definitely has to do with like the pandemic. I feel like a lot of people feel that. My screen time was like 12 hours. It was crazy. But it's just taken over so many people's lives. And I know so many people my age who don't have hobbies because they just scroll online all day. And it's so sad. And you could be taking that time on social media to do something to better yourself and figure out yourself. You know, I talk to people all the time who say that they're depressed and all they do all day is like sit at home and like just go on their phone or whatever online, and they're not finding themselves and figuring out what things they like, what things they don't like, and it's not healthy at all. I really hate social media a lot. I will say it is a blessing in some ways. I am trying to become a tattoo artist, and it has opened so many doors in meeting tattoo artists that have helped me out a lot trying to get my way into the industry, and just getting overall support is amazing. But it's the content that just doesn't serve a purpose, and people just spread hate, and the comments on shit is just lethal, fucking lethal, bro. It's like insane. But I could probably make a whole YouTube video about social media being terrible. I see so many people cutting off social media from their life completely, and they're so much happier. And I would love to get there someday. Definitely want to keep Instagram for like just for somewhere to have like my art portfolio, but to be able to completely not doom scroll is fantastic. Like, I deleted TikTok, I don't even know, like months and months ago, and it has made my life so much better because I'm just, you know, I'm not trapped in that app, because it just never ends. The last final thing, my fifth thing, is not to react but respond to situations. I notice I take on people's emotions a lot when they're coming to me about something. They're upset or angry about something, I'll take on that anger and I just react to what they're saying. Or if I don't like what they're saying, I just react. And I notice, whoa, bugs are loving me. I think I shouldn't have sprayed perfume on myself. That was an L. But I noticed when I had started responding to things, it was just so much easier to communicate with people. And especially being in a relationship, like my partner and I, he's a very like calm person in general, but you know, if he like comes to me about something he's upset about just in life or whatever, if he's upset, then I'm gonna get upset, and then that doesn't help him at all. You know what I mean? Point of a relationship is to be there for each other and work through things together, and that's not working through anything. That's just embodying their feelings. And when I take a step back and I look at the situation from sort of a aerial view, it's a lot easier to go about the situation and just taking it at face value and not tying your emotions to it, tying your morals to it and how you actually feel about it. But you don't need to react so largely, you know? But yeah, that's just helped me a lot. And it helps me sort of see my thought patterns and how I work. All of this has just helped me develop a lot. But I get a lot further when I take a step back and look at a situation instead of immediately just saying the first thing that comes to my head. Like, you don't even have to speak right away when someone comes to you about something. You can sit there and like think for a second about what you actually want to say. There's a plane. But you can think about what you actually want to say and what you actually mean, and actually like be yourself and respond in a calm manner. I noticed in the past, like when I was a teenager, like I wanted to fight people like multiple times. Thankfully I never got into a fight, but I just would hear something about me that someone said, or I just didn't get along with somebody for whatever reason, and I was like, I'm gonna fight that bitch. Like, I want to fight that bitch. And it would never happen. But it's like, you don't need to resort to violent emotions or like actual violence. Like, you can navigate that and how it makes you feel and how it lines up with what you believe, and then go from there. And sometimes you don't even need a response. You know, if you got people hating on you or whatever, obviously, why are you feeding into that? You know, it's just showing a reflection of yourself and how you feel about yourself. You know, if people are hating on you, so what? Girl, if you don't believe what they believe, why are you gonna argue with them? Because they're not worth your time at the end of the day. It's not like you want them in your life, you know? But that's everything I have. I'm surprised this video is as short as it is. I was expecting it to be like 45 minutes long. But I think I went into enough detail on everything. I'm gonna upload this video in one cut and not edit it, except for the clip of the nature. But yeah, I hope that was helpful. Maybe some of these things you already knew, but it's always good to get a refresher. And if you learn anything and it resonates with you, by all means, take that shit and run with it, because it's helped me a lot. But if it doesn't resonate, it doesn't resonate, and that's okay. But I hope you like this video, and I will see y'all in the next video. And have a great day, and namaste.